record on Zoom. Glad that everyone online made it today. Everyone's going to be here. And hi, everyone here. What's going on? How you guys feeling? Any things going on in your body you want to work on today? Anything like that? Legs are sore. Yeah. And then everyone on Zoom, if you'll turn your camera on so I can see that you're participating, that'd be great. And we're going to start today lying down on our backs. So come on down, lie down, and just let your arms come down by your sides, palms facing up, let your legs go long. And we're going to do a similar format today where we do a practice and then do a little bit of a lecture, talking more about yoga philosophy. So let's just take this time to start class in a prone position lying here. Let your palms face up and let your eyes close. See if you can kind of relax the jaw, the face, or any place in the body that might feel tight. And start to tap into your breath. Really in and out of your nose. So in person, we're going to try to keep our mouth closed the whole time, breathing in and out of the mouth. But if you're at home on Zoom, it might feel good to take a deep breath in through your nose and then let a big sigh out of your mouth. I'm thinking about releasing stress and tension on the exhale. Full breath in, deep breath out. So our breath of breathing is a really important part of the yoga practice. It's called pranayama. Prana means life force or energy, and yama means to restrain or to control. So we're starting to control our breath. And when we can deepen our breath and control our breath, it might just help to help us control our thoughts, our mind, our reactions, even our pain. So as we land here, with your eyes closed, start to breathe deeply, and then see if you can breathe down into your belly. So think right into your low belly. Inhale, and then full exhale. Notice if this feels kind of challenging or hard. So lying on the back, arms down, breathe into your low belly, and exhale all your air out. Think about really filling the lungs up with air. Full breath in, and a full breath out. And lengthening the exhale, breathe in, and breathe out. So keep going like that, really trying to build the breath. Let's breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in a little bit more air. And then exhale out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then a little bit more on the exhale. So breathe in, hold the breath, and then exhale out completely. Exhale, 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 exhale a little more and hold. Again, deep breath in, complete breath out. Now I want you all to put your hands on your low belly. And then breathe in and see if you can feel your hands move. Inhale down into your hands. And then exhale, draw your belly in. So just let the breath be natural here. As you breathe in and out, feel your hands on your belly. Belly moving out, belly drawing in. And as we come into this space, we call this the centering. Come here together. See if you can breathe deeply, and as you breathe, let the body relax. Feel the body almost get heavy, softening the skin and tension, muscles and bones. If there's a place in you that might feel extra tight, just allowing your breath to move there and relax a little bit more. Breathing in, letting go. Next, we're going to do something called square breathing. So we'll inhale for 4, hold the breath, exhale for 4, and hold it. And imagine you're drawing a line, a square with each breath. So inhale to the count A 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. Hold. Now let that go. Take a full, complete breath in. Full, complete breath out. And for today, I want your intention, your focus to really be on getting present in your body, drawing all of your attention here onto the mat. So start to just kind of circle your wrists and your hands, move your fingers and your toes. And then stretch your arms way up, stretch your feet way down, reach top to bottom, stretch. And then bend your knees into your chest and give yourself a little squeeze here. So draw your knees in and release. Draw your knees in. You all right?
No.
Was that a reaction to your body?
Yep.
Are you okay? Are you injured?
You started please this week.
Okay, you're just really sore.
Yeah.
All right, well, this should be good for you. So in, out, and then just kind of move your low back around a little side to side. Good. Now squeeze your shoulders up towards your knees. Lift yourself into a little package, little ball. Good. Lower your shoulders down. Now drop your knees over to the right. Open your arms out to a T and gaze to the left. Spinal twist. Deep breath in. Complete exhale. Notice your reactions. Notice how the body feels. Breathe in. Let go. Come back to center. Knees draw into your chest. Squeeze, release, maybe circle a little. And then knees drop down to the left. Open your arms to a T. Gaze to the right. So gentle twist for your spine here. Inhale. And exhale. So twists are great to energize, to wake up. Again, breathe in. Let it go. And then come through to center, knees to chest, rock side to side. And then grab behind your thighs and see if you can rock up and down along the spine a little, up and down. And then rock up to a seated position. Come into a comfortable cross-legged pose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That didn't have to do with anything. I was just counting students. So sitting nice and tall. Now, if this does not feel good, sit with your legs out straight. And everyone, if you're cross-legged or straight, bring your hands onto your hips, just like this, and see if you can kind of move, kind of palpate your hands around and feel those pointy hip bones. Can everyone feel that a little bit? So if you imagine like a skeleton, the like bowl of the pelvis. Now kind of bring one finger to the top of the hip and one to the bottom. So I'm gonna just kind of go like this, so you might be able to see a little bit better. So think like hip bone here and here. Now notice if the front of the bone is farther forward, the back, front, top of the bone. So notice if you're kind of tilting back or like shifting forward. So can you kind of feel those bones? And this is kind of a hard, subtle thing. You're gonna move your fingers around, get sensitive. So you wanna think about the bowl of the pelvis neutral, so kind of like flat. And then naturally a lot of us tend to kind of like have that little like sway back, so the hips go forward, or some of us are really tight and it's more rounded, so you think it might kind of scoot back. So it's like a bowl. We don't want it to be sloshing soup forward and back, but nice and centered. Does that make sense? You can say if it doesn't. It doesn't make sense?
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Are we trying to make ourselves straight?
Yes.
That's what I don't.
Okay. And this is kind of a hard position. We'll do that again on our back and standing. But yeah, so if you think about your hips right here, noticing your low back, just kind of see if you can get your bowl like straight down. So if you're like really tight and rounded back, see if you can lift a little farther forward and up. Good. Bring your hands down onto your knees, and then start to make some gentle circles like this. And bending your elbows, your arms, moving your chest forward to the side, back and around. Good, and then switch. Who is going to make an announcement today? Okay, don't let me forget about that. Good, so a little circle. Good, and then come back to center with your hands on your knees, round your spine, kind of lean back, chin to chest. Good, now lift back to center and then arch your spine, lean forward, draw your shoulders down. Good, so hands on your knees, round back, chin to chest. Lift up and arch your spine, draw forward. Good, come back to center, nice and tall, arms down by your sides like this. Inhale, stretch your arms out and up. And then exhale, float your arms out and down. Good, inhale, stretch your arms out and up. And then exhale, float your arms out and down. Good, one more time, inhale, arms stretch up. And then exhale, take a twist to the right. Right hand behind your back, left hand to the outside of the knee. Good, inhale, lift tall. And exhale, twist. One more breath here. Good, and then turn to face forward. Bring your right hand down, stretch your left arm up and over for a side bend. So see if you can feel that opening and lengthening down the side of the body there. Good, and then raise back up to center. Bring your hands behind your back, uncross your legs, place your feet down, and sway your knees a little side to side like this. Good. And then press down into your feet, press down to your hands, and lift your hips for table, reverse table. Good, lower back down. Now see if you can cross the opposite shin in front. Notice which one you might have in front and see if you can switch. Good, arms come down. Inhale, stretch them up. And then exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, get tall. And exhale, twist. See if you can gaze over your right shoulder. Breathe in. Exhale. And then come to face forward. Lower your left hand down, stretch your right arm up and over. See if you can keep both sitting bones grounding down. Maybe that top shoulder pulls back a little. Maybe you roll your wrists a little bit. Good, and then come back up to center, sitting nice and tall. Swing your legs around behind you and come to the back of the mat into a child's pose. So big toes touch, knees go wide, hips to the heels, stretch your arms forward in front of you. Let your forehead rest on the mat here. See if you can bring your knees wide. Good, point your toes, so tops of the feet are pressing onto the mat, and really stretch your arms forward. Good. See if you can even straighten your arms, spreading your fingers wide. Yeah, stretching your shoulders. Good. So remember to always listen to your body. So if at any time, if something doesn't feel right, if it doesn't feel good, you can skip, you can take a break, you can modify, you can always like raise your hand and let me know if something doesn't feel good, and I can hopefully show you a different way to do it. Good. So really tuning into your body and letting your body be your greatest teacher here. Inhale. Exhale. And now see if you can activate your child's pose as your hips drop back, arms stretched forward. Lift your gaze, lift onto your fingertips, and then walk your upper body over to the right. Feel a stretch through your left side. Maybe feel a stretch in the low back on the left there. Breathe. And then lift up onto your fingertips, lift your gaze, walk your way to center and over to the left. Feel a stretch through your right side. And then lift your gaze, lift up on fingertips and walk your way to center. Good, and now rise up to all fours, tabletop position. Spread your fingers nice and wide. So bring your wrists right under your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Tuck your toes, and then just shift your hips back a little, and then shift your shoulders forward over your wrists. So shift back and forward. Good, back and forward. Come center now, drop your hips over to the left and gaze over your right shoulder. Good, and then switch, hips go right, gaze to the left. And just move a little side to side, again, kind of warming up through your sides, stretching the outer hip. And then come to center table. So neutral spine, think about pulling your front body to your back body. Now here, kind of let your hips tilt forward, kind of stick your butt up. Good. Now round your kind of low back and draw your hips on and in, like in and under. Good. Now see if you can kind of come to a neutral flat back position and let your hips be kind of neutral. Does that make sense a little bit? Yeah, so for me, my hips kind of like, my butt goes back. So I usually have to like tuck my hips under to make a flat neutral spine. So just observing and noticing here. Good, now spread your fingers wide, arch your spine, tuck your toes, gaze forward or up, cow pose. Good, point your toes and round your spine for cat, chin to chest. Inhale, cow, arch your spine, shrug your shoulders down, gaze forward or up. Exhale, point your toes and round your spine, cat. Come to a neutral flat back position. Now stretch your right leg back behind you. Pause here. And then see if you can reach your left arm forward. Opposite arm and leg. Good, now round and curl, bring your knee and elbow to center. Good, and then reach it forward and back. Elbow and knee, squeeze in. Extend forward and back. One more time, draw in. Reach it, and then lower your left hand down and your left knee down. Move your hips side to side. Good. Other side, stretch your left leg back and your right arm forward. Opposite arm and leg, find a little tone here, balance. Good. Now, elbow and knee, draw to center. Extend forward and back. Knee and elbow, squeeze in the middle. Reach and extend. One more time, draw in. Lengthen. Lower down, table pose, rock your hips side to side. Good, now walk your knees back and then walk your hands forward, drop your hips forward so you're in a modified plank, straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Look forward, bend your elbows to your sides, chaturanga, and then straighten your arms. See if you can come down low and hold, and then press back up one more time, come down. And then lower your belly all the way onto the mat. Stretch your legs back like someone were pulling on your ankles. Stretch your arms back behind you. And then inhale up your chest. Legs, arms, everything. Lengthen, open, breathe. And then lower down. Hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes. Press up to table. Now circle your hips back to the left and right. Circle forward, right and left. Nice big circles here, warming up your shoulders, your hips, wrists. Good. Then switch and circle in the other direction. Forward to the side, back and around. Good. Pause at center table. Now spreading the fingers really wide, press into your knuckles, big palms, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Good. So weight should be evenly distributed between the hands and the feet. Lift up your heels. So come up onto your tippy toes. Good. And then bring your right heel down. Bend your left knee. And then switch. And switch. And if downward dog feels like too much, you can always just be in tabletop. Go switch and switch. A little pedal and pedal. Now pause in your downward dog. Exhale. Good, then inhale, come forward to plank position. See if you can bend your knees and hover your shins off the mat. Good, press your chest towards your thighs, bend your knees, and then work to straighten your legs down dog. Again, shift forward to plank. Bend your knees to a hover. Chest to thighs, lift your hips. Straighten the legs down dog. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. Come to the back of the mat. Good, now bring your heels in, point your toes out so you're coming into a little squat, Malasana. Now who feels like they're having a lot of trouble in downward dog? Does it feel like painful for anyone? Or just like uncomfortable? It feels like a good stretch? Yeah, right, how, does that hurt for you or?
I'm just really tired right now.
Okay, yeah, so stay in your squat just like this and just know that if like it just is looking like this and it's really painful, just bend your knees a lot. See if you can lift your hips up and then work the heels down. But you can just stay here with knees bent and hips up. And a really common thing for the hands is just kind of lift through that like first finger, knuckle, and thumb. So really we want to keep pressing down powerfully into your palms to help support the wrists. So take one more breath here in your squat. And then see if you can reverse squat and rise to stand. Good, circle your shoulders, up, back, and around, up, back, and around, up, back, and around. Give your hands a little shake, your wrists, kind of shrug your shoulders, kind of bob your heels a little. Good. And then just pause here in mountain pose. Place your hands in front of your heart. Lift a little taller through your spine. And breathe a little bit deeper. So breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. And see if you can make the breath really move deep down into the low belly. Inhale and exhale. Lower your arms down by your sides and then bring your feet together. Lift tall through your spine. And we're just going to do like a mindful walk, like a meditative walk. So breathe in and step one foot forward and slowly lower your foot down. Shift your weight onto that foot. And then lift your other foot up and walk it forward. Now see if you can really be super attentive and mindful, going super slow, just kind of noticing how your foot lifts, how your foot kind of strikes the mat. Just a slow walk to the top of the mat, and maybe kind of notice how your weight changes as you balance. Gentle walk. Good, coming all the way to the top of the mat. Settle here, breathe in and breathe out. Now bring your hands onto your hips. See if you can feel those little pokey bones. Good. And then notice if they're kind of shifted forward or really rounded back. And then see if you can kind of make a neutral spine. So lengthening the tailbone to make a flat back. Good, does that make sense? Can anyone tell if they're more shifted forward or more shifted back? You're shifted back more? Yeah, that's good to know. All right, arms come down. Exhale. Inhale, stretch your arms out and up. Good, and then exhale, a little bend of your knees, forward fold. Let your hands come towards the floor, maybe on your shins, and then bend one knee, and then bend the other. Maybe kind of shake your head or sway. Now bring your hands up to your shins, look forward and lengthen. Good, now plant your hands and step your feet back into a plank position. You can always drop to your knees and do modified plank. Good, from here, shift forward, bend your elbows, chaturanga. You can always have your knees down for that. Good, then lift up for cobra or upward dog. Good, open your chest, breathe. Downward facing dog, take it back. Breath in. And breath out. Evenly grounding to both feet and both hands. One more breath. Now look forward and walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to the top of the mat in a deep fold. Take a little bend of your knees and stretch your arms out to the sides and up. And then lower your hands to your heart. Mountain pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Does anyone remember what these movements are called? Sun salutations. So it's like a warm-up exercise. Let's do it again. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Maybe even a little back bend here, hips forward. Good, and then forward fold, hands to the mat, lower down. Lengthen your spine, look forward, half lift, maybe hands on your shins. Good, now exhale, plant your hands down and step your feet back to plank pose. Good, yogi push-up, chaturanga, bend your elbows, chest comes forward. Nice, upward dog or cobra, that's it, nice. Downward facing dog. We can hold downward dog or be in tabletop or child's pose. Nice deep breath here. Inhale and exhale, good. Breathe in, breathe out. And Lauren, maybe bend your knees, press your chest towards your thighs a little bit more. Gaze back between your feet. One more breath here. Good, and then look forward, step, hop, or float your feet to the top of the space. Gaze forward, lengthen. Good, lower back down. Good, stretch your arms out to the sides, rise all the way to stand. And then hands to the heart, mountain pose. Good, lower your arms, sweep them down, around, and up. Now take your right hand to your left wrist, stretch tall, and then hinge over to the right. Maybe a little lift of your chin. Good, come to center, bend your knees, switch, left hand, right wrist, reach up tall, hinge over to the left. Good, come center, bend your elbows to a T, maybe bring your hips forward a little, back bend. Good, and then come to center. Good, bend your knees, place your hands on your knees and make some circles like this. little love for the knee joints. See if you can bring your feet together, make sure your toes point forward. Good, and then switch to go the other direction. Good, and then come to stand, step your feet wide toward the edges of the mat and make some circles with your hips. You can place your hands on your hips or just let your arms kind of relax down. Good, circle the other way. Good, and then rise back to stand with your feet together. Inhale, stretch your arms out and up. Now lower your right hand onto your hip, stretch your left arm up and over again, and this time circle that top wrist a little bit. Good. Back up to center, switch, left hand on your hip, right arm reaches up and over, circle your wrist. Good, and then come back to center. Good, shift all your weight to the left foot and then see if you can lift your right leg out in front of you. Balance here, maybe arms out in front of you or hands to your heart. Good, maybe you can straighten that leg a little, bend it. Good, then from here, bend your knee and reach back, grab your heel. Give that leg a little stretch, kind of pointing your knee down. Good, and then bring your right knee back into your chest and step your leg to the back of the mat. Lifting your back heel for a lunge. Yeah, it's, I think, better just noticing you're all wearing socks. It's easier to grip with bare feet, but you can also keep your socks on, no big deal. Arms stretch high, bend your front knee. So crescent lunge, high lunge. Good, draw your front ribs in. Soften your shoulders, deeper breath. Good, and then open to the side of the mat for warrior two. Left knee is forward, left toes point forward. Good, arms stretch nice and wide. Feet are far apart. Good, settle here, drop your shoulders down. Good, deep breath. Good, now straighten your arms and your legs just one time. Rise up. Good, lower down. And then reverse your warrior. Take your right hand down your back leg. Left arm can go maybe up or over. Nice. And then rise back up. Shift forward, extended side angle. Left arm to thigh. Right arm goes up and over. Good, keep breathing. And then rise back up, warrior two. Good, straighten your front leg. Heel toe your back foot in, so you're going to shorten your stance. Good, the toes, the feet still face the same direction. So left toes forward, right toes to the side, arms stretch out. Good, come forward and down, triangle pose. Left hand to your shin, your ankle, top arm draws up. Feel that length through your side there, good. Breathe. And now from here, look down, look forward. See if you can bring your left foot, left hand in front of the mat and lift your right leg up, called half moon pose. Good, you can always use the wall or something to help balance if you need. And then step your leg back, rise up, face the side, bring your toes in. So you're facing the chalkboard wall, toes in, heels out. Good, bend into your right knee, kind of squat down to the right, and then bend to the left. Think about really sending your hips back side to side. Good, now drop down to the right, super low, lift your left heel up, or left toes up. Good. Maybe you can even get your right heel down. Good, maybe you can bring your forearms down. So this should feel like a really deep stretch in that inner left thigh. How's that feel? Good. Medium, really painful. Good, and then slowly walk your hands to center and switch. Left knee bends, right leg extends. Maybe forearms on the mat in front of you. Keep stretching that right hamstring. Breathe. Good. And then come to a wide-legged fold. Walk your hands center, toes in, heels out. Maybe walk your hands through between your legs. You turn your fingers to reach towards the other side of your mat. Good, now walk your hands directly underneath you. Good, walk your feet in a little bit closer. Go heels in, toes out, and then rise up, placing your hands on your knees. So come into a little squat like this. Maybe move a little side to side. Good, now lift your chest, lift your arms, palms up. Good, really draw your knees out. Seat a little bit lower, that's it. Good, and then straighten your legs. Lower your arms down and step to the top of the mat. Mountain pose. Let your hands come to your heart and breathe. Relax. One more breath. Good, now open your eyes. Lower your arms down. Reach your left leg out in front of you. See if you can hold it there with the knee bent, or maybe you straighten it a little bit. Good, and then sweep your leg behind you. Grab your heel. Pull your heel toward your seat. Kind of tilt your hips forward. Let your left knee come next to the right. Yeah, balance here. Good, and then release that leg. Bring your knee back to your chest. Hands at the heart, and then step your left leg to the back of the mat. Front knee bends. Good, back heel is lifting. Good, arms stretch high. Everyone on Zoom, if you can come into the picture so I can see you, that'd be great. Good, sit nice and low, and then draw your low belly in. Good, back heel is lifted. Notice maybe difference between sides. One more breath. Good, open to the side of the mat, warrior two. Using the concrete wall, drop your shoulders down. Nice deep bend of your front knee. Now look down at your body. So make sure your right toe is face forward, your left toe is face to the side. Good, now straighten your arms and legs. And then lower down. And then reverse your warrior. Left hand down, right arm up and over. Good. Rise back up, warrior two. Shift forward, extended side angle. Right forearm to thigh, left arm maybe goes up and over. Good, long line of energy outside that left body. Rise to warrior two. Now straighten your front leg and heel toe your back foot in. Shortening your stance. Yeah, triangle pose, lift up and then come down. Right hand on your shin, your knee, your foot. Good, imagine you're pressed between two panes of glass. So chest back, hips forward. Breathe. Good, now look forward. Bend your right knee. Bring your hand in front of you, half moon pose, come to balance. Yeah, that's it. Float that back leg. Flex your left foot, you got this. Good, and then lower your left foot back to the back of the mat, rise up, and then turn your right toes to face the side, so you're facing that inside wall. Arms stretch out. Good, again, bend into your right knee, kind of squat down to the right, and then to the left. Side to side. Good, find center, and then bring your hands down underneath your face. Right hand underneath your nose, stretch your left arm up and twist. There you go, and then switch. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches up. Good, lower down. Now heel toe your feet towards the middle of the mat. Good. Heels in, toes out, come down into a little squat position again. Move a little side to side, maybe press your knees into your elbows, elbows into your knees. Good. And then bring your hands down, straighten your legs. Spin around to face forward. Good, plant your hands down and walk your feet back into plank position. Maybe you twist your hips a little here, side to side. You can always have your knees down. Good, everyone drop to your knees and press back to a child's pose. Your forehead rest, and maybe you can go palms up here. And then from here, walk your hands in, lift your chest. Good, and then sit to one side, your hips, when your legs are round in front of you. Good, have a seat, stretch your legs, maybe give them a little shake, shake, shake. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good, and now just kind of walk your hips back a little bit. And move your hips a little side to side. Bring your feet together, curl your toes back towards your face. Reach your arms up, and then hinge and fold, come forward. Reach your fingers towards your toes. Maybe as you fold, you walk your hips back a little bit. Good. Maybe bring your nose towards your knees, lengthening your spine forward as you fold in. Good. And then slowly rise back up. Circle your shoulders up, back, and around. And then bring your hands down behind you. Bend your knees, plant your feet, lift your hips. Lower down. Drop your bottom. Feet toward the edges of the mat. Sway your knees from side to side. Good. And then bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees come open for butterfly pose. You can bring your heels in close towards your body, or maybe your feet come farther away. And think about kind of opening up the soles of the feet. Almost giving your feet a little massage there. And maybe that might assist in opening your hips up a little bit, inner thighs. Take a deep breath here. And then slowly come down. Maybe the elbows press down onto your calves or your thighs. And then gently fold, soften, and relax. Just one more really deep breath here. And then rise back up. Bring your hands outside the knees, draw your legs together. Maybe wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself a little squeeze. Draw in, maybe chin in. Good, lift back up. Now stretch your arms forward and see if you can balance your legs out in front of you, boat pose, Navasana. So maybe feel a little work through the core here. Good, keep holding, keep breathing. Good, now cross your ankles, roll over your knees, plant your hands down, and come back into a tabletop position on all fours. Good, full breath in, complete breath out. Stretch your left leg back behind you, and then step your left foot forward. And then kind of shift your hips forward with your back knee down. Good, nice deep stretch. Maybe you feel this in the front of that right hip. Good, now straighten your front leg and shift your hips back. Good, and then bend into your front knee and shift your hips forward. Shift your hips back. Shift your hips forward. And the next time you shift back, hold it there. Think left heel, dragging towards your right knee, maybe chest goes over your thigh. You can turn your toes out and in, flex and point. Good, hold here. If you're super tight, maybe you walk your hands in and up a little bit. Keep that front leg straight. Good, you can go deeper if you want, full split. Good, and then shift forward. Bring your hands inside the foot, walk your foot to the outside of the mat. Good, low lunge. Good, back knee is down. And again, maybe you shift side to side. You can come onto your elbows or forearms here. You could also add a twist, press your left hand inside the right thigh. And from here, straighten your arms, walk yourself back up. Heel toe your left foot to the right side of the mat. Good, bring your left knee behind your left wrist for pigeon pose. So the right foot is kind of in front of your right hip. Walk your hands in, lift your chest, and then lower down. Good. Now, if this is like excruciating, if you're feeling any pain in your knees, swing around onto your back and then just cross your left ankle on top of your right thigh, hand behind your leg for figure four. And that's the same stretch as just pigeon on your back. And just breathe into sensation. Notice and feel here. What's going on? How do you feel? And see if you can use the breath to let your body relax a little. Now, as you're ready, slowly walk your hands in, lift your chest up, lengthen your spine. Good. And then swing your right leg around in front of you so that the sole of the left foot is inside the right leg. Lift up nice and tall, and then you're just going to fold forward over that right leg. Called head to knee pose, Janu Shirsasana, reaching towards that right foot. Draw in, good, breathe here. then slowly rise back up, circle your shoulders up, back, and around. And then bring your hands behind your back. Place your left foot down and then your right foot, and gently sway your knees from side to side. Good. Come back up and then swing your legs around behind you. Find that tabletop position. And any movement that might feel good here, you can tuck your toes into downward dog, sway your hips, take a cat-cow. And just maybe notice the difference between sides. Breathe in, breathe out. Stretch your right leg back. Good, and then bring your left foot forward, or right foot forward, sorry. And then drop your back knee and kind of scooch your hips forward. Good. Now from here, slowly rock your hips back as you straighten your front leg. And bend into your front knee and shift your hips forward. Shift back. Shift forward. One more time, shift back as you straighten that front leg. See if you can feel a stretch behind the calf, the hamstring. You can turn your toes out, point your toes in, maybe flex and point. If you're really tight, maybe you walk your hands up. Press your hands on your thighs and still keep that stretch behind your leg. So relax your face, deepen your breath. If you want to go deeper here, you can slide to a full split stretch. You want to play with that or no? Good. And then slowly shift it forward. Bend into your front knee. Walk your right foot to the edge of the mat. Bring your hands down inside that foot if you can. Good. Maybe even come onto your forearms. And notice that stretch on the right leg there. Maybe you feel it in the front of the left thigh. If you want, you can take a twist, right hand inside the thigh. And as you're ready, straighten your arms, lift your chest up. Walk your right foot over to the left side of the mat. You can slide your right knee behind your right wrist. Tuck your left toes, scooch the left leg back. Hands walk in, chest is lifting. Good, and then come down for pigeon pose. Elbows or forearms, maybe your head rests. And this is where if that feels like too much, you can come onto your back and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Draw behind your leg and breathe. Notice where in the body it might feel tense or tight, and see if you can send your breath to that place and let it soften and relax. And then as you're ready, slowly walk your hands in, lift your chest up. If you're on your back, you can slowly make your way back up. And then we'll roll that right hip and swing the left leg around in front of you. So right foot inside the left leg is straight down the middle of the mat. Lift up tall, and then gently fold forward. Stretching your arms forward, maybe your fingers reach towards your toes. Nose to knee, chin to shin. Nice deep stretch. And slowly roll your spine back up, circle your shoulders up, back, and around. Stretch that right leg forward. Give it a shake, 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 wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. If you want to do a counter pose, either with your legs straight or your feet down, your knees bent, lift your hips up for reverse table pose or reverse plank, legs straight. Good, and then lower down, scoot towards the front of your mat, bring your feet together, bend your knees, and then reach your arms forward. Good. From here, slowly lower down and then pause just a little bit. Start to feel your core working here. Hold that position and twist a little to the right so you can kind of turn on through your obliques. Good. Come center, slowly over to the left. Come center, lower down a little bit more. Pause here. Good. And then lower a little bit more. And a little bit more. And a little bit more. And then come onto your back and hug your knees into your chest. Rock side to side. Good. Stretch your legs up towards the sky. Stretch your arms up. And just roll your ankles and your wrists. Maybe flick your fingers, shake your legs. And then bend your knees, grab the outsides of the feet for happy baby pose. You can rock side to side. Bend one foot in, straighten with the other. Side to side. Good. And then stretch both legs, arms up, everything, give everything again. Nice. Shake, 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 shake. And then bend your knees into your chest. Place your feet down on the floor, let your knees bend, arms long by your sides. And then inhale, lift your hips up, bridge pose. And then slowly lower your spine back down. And then again, inhale, lift your hips, bridge, maybe squeeze through your backside a little bit. And then slowly lower. Walk your feet to the corners of the mat and draw your knees in towards one another. Think knocked knee position, so find some internal rotation here. Open your arms out to a T and drop your knees down to the right. Good. Now see from here you can bring your left heel up towards your left hip and point your left knee to the bottom of the mat to feel stretch in the front of that left hip. Totally optional, you don't have to do it, but it might feel good for some of you. Good. How's that feel? And then maybe you just kind of gaze to the left and feel your body really open here. Feel an opening along the chest, the belly, the shoulders. A sense of stillness. Relax the forehead and the face. And slowly come back to center. Unravel that left foot if you have it behind you. Keep your feet down, your knees bent, and sway your knees side to side. Good. Feet toward the edges of the mat. Drop your knees over to the left. And then hold there in a twist, maybe gaze over the right shoulder. You could also bring your right knee kind of back in line with the hip and try to bring your right heel behind your hip for a stretch in the top of that right thigh, maybe the knee. If you feel any pain or sensation in that right knee, just remove the leg and just do something else with your leg straight or both knees to the left. Let your belly soften. Maybe feel an opening along the fronts of the legs. And see if you can let the breath get really deep, long, slow, and deep. And then slowly unravel. Place both feet down on the mat. Sway your knees a little side to side to release. And then squeeze your knees up into your chest. Curl your shoulders up, bring your nose toward your knees. Curl your toes, squeeze everything tight. And then exhale and release everything out and down for final relaxation pose, Shavasana. Let your arms come down, let your legs go long, your eyes close. And just allow your body to soften here. So we're going to do something called a body scan meditation, which is where I'll mention each part of your body. And as I do, I want you to feel into that part of the body. And without moving it, just let it relax. So as I say, bring your attention to your head. Without moving your head, just kind of feel your head and let your head relax. Some people say this is the most important pose in yoga practice. Just giving yourself the time to really release and let go. You don't have to overthink it. Just let this time be about you relaxing. So important to take time to let go, to rest, and relax. And if you're at home and you have like a blanket, it might feel nice to have a blanket on top of you, a pillow underneath your knees, maybe something over your eyes. So everyone from here, take a full breath in and let a long, slow, deep breath out. Deep breath in. Long, slow breath out. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale. And exhale. Now bring your attention into the soles of the feet. Feel the feet, the soles of the feet, the top of the feet, and each toe. And let your feet completely relax. It might even be nice to kind of choose a color to connect to and feel that color move through your body as I speak. Move your attention into your ankles. Without any effort, allow your ankles to soften. And then almost like a stream, start to move your awareness up from the bottoms of the feet into your shins, and your calves, and your knees. Let your shins, calves, and knees relax. And then move up the front of the thighs, back to the legs, and into your hips. Let your thighs, your legs, and your hips deeply relax. So feel kind of the bowl of your pelvis, the sitting bones, and maybe even like a color there, a swirling sensation. Let the pelvis completely relax here. And then moving up the front of the body, feel into your low belly and allow your belly to just rest here, no effort, softening. And then move up to your chest. The sides, the ribs, and all the way up your torso to the right shoulder, the left, to the collarbone, and right at the middle of your chest. So feel right into the heart, to the belly, the whole front body facing skywards, and with the front body rest here. Breathing in, letting go. And feel the back body from the low back to the middle back to the upper back. Soften. And your shoulder blades, maybe up and around your shoulders to the tops of the traps, the shoulder heads at the top. And then up and down your spine, just letting, kind of feeling maybe the natural curves of your spine. Let your whole back body relax deeply. And circle up the back and kind of over around to the front, the right shoulder. And move your attention down the right arm and let it relax. So right elbow, right forearm, and wrist. Relax your right hand and each finger on the right side. Breathe in and let go. Move your attention back up the right side, right wrist, right elbow, right shoulder, deeply relax. Feel into the right chest, let the right chest relax. Kind of right into the center of your chest. And then move into your left chest, relax. Move up into your left shoulder. Let your left shoulder soften and then move down the left arm to the elbow, the forearm, down to your wrist. Relax that left hand, the back of the hand, the palm of the hand, and each finger. Left hand is soft and relaxed. And move back up into the left wrist, forearm, elbow, left shoulder. Relax the left chest, and then right at the center of your heart. Move up into the throat, the back of the neck. Relax your neck and your throat. And then up the back of the head, soften the scalp, the forehead, the temples, the ears on the side of the head, the nose, the mouth, the teeth, the tongue, relaxing the jaw and the cheeks, the temples, all the muscles of the face are completely let go. Now take another big scan of your body, like a sweep from the crown of the head all the way down the front body. And from the bottom to the top, big sweep, big scan, feel, notice, breathe. Let your skin soften off the muscles. Let your muscles soften off the bones and let your bones feel heavy. Now go inside and let your mind get quiet. No need for thoughts. Relax the mind. And then see if from here you can get still and drift off to a place of total rest and relaxation. Shavasana. Notice where your attention goes. Stay here with your body. You feel movement.
Notice if there's a tendency to fidget here, to feel restless. And see if you can keep directing yourself right back into the body. Letting yourself stay calm, present. See if you can notice and observe without judgment, without a real story. Just observing how you feel and what's going on, maybe how you've reacted to this rest. And then as you're ready, very slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Rotate through your ankles and your wrists. Turn your head from side to side. And then stretch your arms up and your feet down. Lengthen the body from the very top to the very bottom. Reach, stretch. And then bend your knees and hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a gentle squeeze here. Rock a little side to side. Maybe forward and back. Maybe kind of circle around a little bit. And now gently rock to your right side and pause. Make a pillow with your arms and rest here. And then as you're ready, press your way up to a seated position. So come to sit up nice and tall. And as you sit tall, place your hands in front of your heart, palms touching. Closing your eyes and just taking a moment here to really feel the difference between maybe how you felt when you first began and how you feel now. And then traditionally kind of close the practice with a thought of gratitude, gratitude to the body, the breath, your health, whatever you feel especially grateful for right now. Breathe in and exhale. Namaste. How do you guys feel?
A lot better now.
Okay. Who fell asleep? Did anyone fall asleep? You did? You did? That's good. I've fallen asleep in a lot of Shavasana, so it's I don't think it's a bad thing. It just means your body needs rest. So yeah, I think it's good. Okay, I'm just gonna take attendance real quick. How does everyone on Zoom feel? How do you guys feel? Good, thumbs up. Okay, so real quick, and I promise I'll memorize your names. I'll know you. It just takes a little while for me. Hannah A is here. Trevor. Michael Barber. Michael Barber. Where is that? Raison, Ray. Jennifer Lauren. Lauren is here. Lauren Wise. Jonathan Davis is here. Dylan. I'm sorry, Dylan. Christina Dixon is not. Christina? Walker and Jaylene and Denzel. Adam. Grace is here. Jalen. And Jenna Smith. Jared's here, and Ryan. So just like Ryan, but it's spelled differently. Jared, Jenna, Jaylene, Jonathan, Jennifer. That's so many J's, but no, Jennifer is actually Lauren. Okay, I promise I'll get it. I'll learn you guys eventually. All right, so I'm gonna make this class a little shorter because it's a really beautiful day out and I just kind of want you all to go outside. I was thinking about doing class on the football field, which maybe we'll do next week if it's nice, but I feel like this was the first also class we got like Zoom working and everyone here. So I just wanted to like, make sure everything was all right. So kind of picking up from where we left off on Tuesday, going over the 8 limbs of yoga. So does anyone remember what the first 2 limbs were that we talked about? Yes. Yes. Well done, Walker. Thank you. That's right. Yamas and niyamas. And does anyone remember what those are and what they mean?
You might want the mind.
What did you say? The mind?
Like we can go together now.
Yeah.
Okay.
If anyone's on Zoom and wants to chime in, you can. Truthfulness, satya, that was one of the niyamas, yep.
Restrictions.
Yes. The yamas are like the restraints, like the things we want to not do, like ahimsa, non-violence, we want to be violent. So yeah, so you can kind of think of them like the 10 commandments of yoga philosophy, or kind of general guidelines and rules. So the yamas are like the no's, things we try to avoid, like restraints to control, and the niyamas are like the yeses, the things we want to do, like guidelines to growth. So you have the niyamas, and then the third limb of the 8 limbs of yoga is, does anyone remember that? Kind of touched on it, just been doing them. So the postures, the physical postures, which we call asanas. So in the Yoga Sutra, which is like a text we're going to be talking about next week, it said that we want all the postures to be steady and comfortable. So in every one of the yoga poses, we want to feel a sense of effort and ease, of steadiness and comfort, kind of these duality like ideas. So the asanas are helping us be steady in yourself, seated, and sharpen the senses, anchor in the body, in steadiness and comfort. So asana kind of means like to sit or to be present. There's also kind of an idea that in every posture, we also want to have like a mental sense of relaxation, of steadiness. So when you're in like a really hard balance pose or a deep hip opener and you're like, oh, this hurts, trying to find a sense of steadiness and ease in our minds as well. So by revealing effort and fixing the mind on the infinite, asana is perfected. So this also, yoga is called hatha yoga. So physical postures means hatha, and ha is sun, and ta is moon. So it's like the sun and the moon, and then finding a balance between like the darkness and the light. Also, do you guys know where the moon is right now, the cycle of the moon? Anyone like into the moon? There's a new moon tomorrow night, so very exciting. So you can think about why we might practice asana, why we practice these postures, and it's to prepare our mind for meditation. That's kind of a traditional idea of what these asanas are for, to keep our bodies healthy so that we can be of service. So we want to be like
strong and balanced and flexible and like light and healthy so that we can like go off into the world and help others. So our asana practice also helps us burn off excess energy and return to a place of balance. An important thing is also that our asana practice can be a playground for the ego, our body image. So we always want to watch out for that, and what patterns might come up. So like patterns on the mat and then in our life. This teacher I really like named Brian Kest always says that our yoga practice is like a practice life. So every experience we might have in a lifetime, we would have in a yoga practice. That's not true for all practices all days, but when you're in your practice and you're like feeling kind of like jealous of the person next to you, or you're distracted and looking around, or you're feeling competitive, or you've like a short fuse, you like fall out of pose and you get really angry. So like how we practice the asanas on the mat might be how we are in life. Or if we're like kind of lazy and like not really like super active, or like in our mind and in our bodies, maybe in the practice we'll like skip things or just rest. And then maybe in your life you're like, oh, I'm not going to go to that, I'm not going to do this, like procrastinate. So just, it's a really cool way to see how we show up and what our patterns are. So like I said, in every posture we want to find a place where we're sitting in the present moment. The thoughts are centered on what you're experiencing in the pose, internally and externally. The thoughts in the body, learning to sit with feelings and stay grounded in the present moment. And then the fourth limb is pranayama. So that's the yamas, the niyamas, asana, postures. And then the fourth limb is pranayama, which, like I was saying before, means breath work for energy control. So prana means vital life force, energy. Yama is tonic to control, restrain. So breath control and energy control. Have you ever like done something that like took a lot of energy? Maybe you had like a presentation or an event, or like you were hosting a party and it just like took so much, and then after you're just like, I'm exhausted. You like come home at the end of the day and you're like, wow, that was a lot, maybe after a game. So by learning how to really control our breath and tap into the full expression of our breath, we can control our energy better, have more energy throughout our day or activities, and really decide and see like where we might lose energy. Like sometimes if we have a friend who's like really needy or really negative, you feel like really tired after you're with them. And something that I think is really profound that one of my yoga teachers told me is like, in every experience, notice if you're like uplifted or drained. So in everything you do, does it like invigorate you and uplift you and energize you? Especially you might notice that after you leave, or does it like exhaust and drain you? And you can kind of think about that with relationships. Like, maybe hopefully you all have those friends that are like super fun and super loud and just like a great time. And like you look forward to hanging out with them. And then after you're just like, oh, I'm so happy I got to hang out with them. Or you have those friends who are just like a total downer, just like complain, dump on you, and just like you feel like crappy, or they make you feel bad. They say like passive aggressive things. And like in romantic relationships, I think it's really important to see like, does this like enliven my life? Does this make my life better? Is this person an asset? Or is this person just like sucking all of my time and energy and resources? So you want to be around people who will lift you up, and hopefully you want to lift people up as well. You can also think about that with like your jobs in the future. Like, is this something I really love, or is this like just steal all my energy? So pranayama and that kind of energetic idea. There are a lot of different breathing exercises we're going to move through. So today we are doing kind of belly breath, so breathing down into the low belly. Most people are chest breathers. So like if you say, take a deep breath, most people just without kind of thinking about go, like pull your shoulders up. There's also like a reverse breather, which is when you inhale, you naturally expand, and exhale, draw in. But some people like it's switched, so they inhale and they like suck their air in, and exhale and it goes out. So that's like a real constriction or strain on your body because it's the opposite of what would be normal for your body to do. So your diaphragm, which probably most of you know, is right underneath your ribs, so right in here. And your diaphragm is the main muscle organ that's related to your breathing along with the lungs. And you can think about your diaphragm like a big kind of like jellyfish dome or like a pizza pie, you know, when people like throw pizza in the air if they're like making pizza, like that's kind of the shape. So like resting, it's like this, and when we breathe in, it goes like this. And when we breathe out, it goes like this. So you can think about that diaphragm kind of doming and going down, expand and contract. And you can even bring your hands onto your ribs and then see if you can breathe into your hands and draw in. So you can see my hands move. Breathe in and breathe out. And so there have been like a lot of peer-reviewed scientific research, like from lofty universities, from Harvard and different places, that can show that people who breathe really deeply have lower levels of cortisol, like the stress hormone in their body, and higher levels of like oxytocin and like happy hormones because their bodies are balanced and regulated. So I really think that breathing is this like really powerful technique that we can tap into. And hopefully if you guys are just like taking this class for credit and never do yoga again, you'll learn some breathing exercises this semester that can really help you calm down. And I think another great way we can just practice pranayama is just by lying down and listening to our breath, just observing. You know, if you're ever feeling really stressed, a really helpful thing to do is like to lean right into that feeling and kind of confront it and see that picture instead of just like push it down, push it down, push it down. So yeah, so that's pranayama. We'll be doing a lot of different breathing exercises. I like to do like a lot of pre-corona exhaling out of the mouth, thinking about lengthening your exhales. But obviously, because of what's going on right now, we don't want to be like breathing out of our mouths in the spaces we're in. So I might do like a pranayama video and put it on our YouTube channel. And then when you have the extra time after class, you can all like practice that by yourselves. You know, I think also it's like someone might tell you like, take a deep breath, and you go like this. So you take like a long inhale and a short exhale, but by lengthening the inhale, that can make us more like alert and awake and even like anxious. But it's helpful if you're tired or bored to lengthen your inhale. The exhale is for relaxation. So if you're really stressed, you can think about an inhale for 3 and then an exhale for 6. So you want to try to like double the length of the inhale. So also I want you to really remember that, let it land. The exhale is for calming. The inhale is for like activating. So if you're like about to like go on a run or get excited, maybe you're like lots of quick inhales, get excited, get like fired up, and then the exhale is to rest and relax. So those are the first 4 limbs of yoga. Yamas, the restraints, the things we don't want to do, kind of restrain our behaviors. The niyamas, the things we do want to do, cultivate our observances. Asanas, the postures, and pranayama, the breath control. We'll go over the next 4 limbs of yoga next week, and then we'll start talking about the Yoga Sutras, which kind of gets into the deeper meaning of what yoga is, of presence, of meditation, and then ways that we can kind of cultivate that and learn about ourselves a little bit more. So that's it for today. There's an hour and 10 minutes left in class time, so I want you to all spend some time outside. Oh, and then you have your announcement. So yeah, mindfulness journals, go outside, get some sun, and that's it. And then you have an announcement?
Yeah, I'm doing a trivia night Saturday at 8 p.m. There's like $500 worth of prizes.
Ooh.
It's a fun